if I was ever having a hard time getting into a club or something like that, and I did a never made it as a wise man, they're like, dude, come on in.
That is so fucking cool hearing you
the fact that you can just
that is so fucking
pull
cool.
the lever. Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
Oh, the fucking boys are here. What's going on, man? How you doing? Hey, I feel like I'm 3 drinks behind.
Oh,
shit.
What's up, Daniel? We're going to put you around this way.
Okay.
There's 4 of you?
3.
Okay, so then we got a little more room. Push that out.
All the way here.
So you guys can go 1, 2, 3. Yep. You can go with this. I can go with this.
Okay.
All right.
How we doing, guys?
What's up?
Well, a huge press day. Just starting to fucking run out of gas. So
Starting to run out of gas?
So it was,
you want a little whiskey?
No. But it was great to walk around the corner and have you guys like, boys, what the fuck's going on? I'm like,
let's go.
Yeah, that's what I
need. A little shot of energy.
That's what I needed.
We're ready with the whiskey if you want.
A little rocket up the ass. I like that.
Yeah.
So if I get started on this, tomorrow's show is going to be fucking rough. The brake pedal was not installed in this model.
No.
No brake pedal.
Pop the governor off. Yeah.
So when you get going, you get going.
Oh, every time, like if I start, so the girl, like if this is an afternoon thing, like if it's like 2 in the afternoon and I'm like, if I'm by the pool, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking crack a beer. I could see that hairy eyeball coming. She's kind of like, it's 2 o'clock, right? And you haven't eaten anything yet? She's seen the movie so many times.
Yeah.
I know how this one ends.
I run it back. It's a classic.
Yeah. I've done the prequel. I fucking directed half of these. It's like
Harry Potter, man. There's like 8 of these motherfuckers.
Yes. So at like noon the next day, she's like, I fucking told you. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah. We had Tommy Lee on, and Kevin was talking about that, how like he'll get to noon and he's like, I just can't do it anymore. And Tommy Lee was like, dude, you just start again. And
start drinking, you'll be fine.
Like, Tommy Lee is probably one maybe you don't take all the advice from, but I like that one.
Well, I think Tommy Lee party advice you either absolutely take or absolutely don't take.
Yeah.
It depends on where you want to get.
Right.
He's one of my best friends.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like
he's wild, man.
Yeah, no, I love him to death. I really do. Like he just had his 60th down in Punta Mita.
60 shit.
Yeah, and we all went down. It was wild because we were sitting there, and to watch. And Nikki came down, Vince came down. Like it's like the whole crew. Well, Mick wasn't there, so 3/4 of the crew. But so I'm sitting there, and I'm looking across the table, and Nikki comes up, and he's talking to Tommy, and the 13-year-old me is just like, holy shit.
Right.
I'm like, don't fanboy. Don't fucking fanboy. Not now. Like, you're a peer. Be a fucking peer.
Yeah, right. That's like, your coworkers in a way. That's your contemporaries.
I think if they had looked over and they saw me doing this, and I'm like, what's with the fucking look on your face, Chad? What's going on? Nothing? Nothing? Like,
is that weird when you reach that level? Like at some point you're on par with all these legendary bands, whether you grew up listening to them or whatever it may be. Eventually you break through to that, whether it's record sold or
you become a real imposter.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like it's tough not to.
That's a great picture, man.
right there.
Yeah. If it is like an imposter. It's we feel that all the time.
And for the camera, me and the boys. Yeah, like it was wild. Like. And then the nights would go late, and it turns into that.
Yeah.
Right?
Good for you for keeping up with them, though, man.
Yeah. Well, Tommy's pretty much off the sauce now. He doesn't.
Oh yeah, where did he?
No,
when we interviewed
fell
him,
off for a second.
He said, "We said I'm sober," and we were like, "Oh, really?" And then he starts talking about drinking margaritas and shit, and I was kind of like,
Really?
And he goes, "It was like, well, it's vodka. That doesn't count."
No,
I was like,
what?
What?
Dude, he was. So we did it over Zoom during the heavy pandemic, and we're like, so what do you been? Because he started saying he was sober, and we're like, so what have you been doing? Like, what do you like? This was like heavy lockdown. This is like April 2020, right. And we're like, so what do you do? And he's like, he holds up a Yeti, and he goes, I wake up every morning, fill this with ice, fill it to the brim with vodka, little spritz of cranberry juice on top.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And I go drink by the pool.
Little color,
I don't think you know what sober means, dude.
I don't think this is driving.
No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But at the same time, again, it's Tommy Lee. Like, That is sober for him. That's just morning breakfast.
How the hell is that guy a rail still?
It's awesome.
I don't get it.
I get the FaceTime and it's like 2 p.m. and he's like, these are Chadley, these are fucking delicious. And I'm like, that looks delicious.
Sounds like it. That was good. Is it like a chicken or the egg sort of thing, or is it like? I feel like there's not many like rock stars. I feel like you all can kind of keep it going. Like pretty, you can tour and you can party if you want to, and you can turn it up. Where a lot of people who eventually grow to be your age are like, I can't party anymore.
Easy.
You think
Easy, dude.
It's a compliment. You guys still got it.
I mean, you did open that door with, I can't have a glass of whiskey because I do a show tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it right there. That's the movie we got. We're at that stage.
Yeah.
We'll see where we're at. Hopefully these they don't age well. When you go get older, it's like you see all these guys in rehab and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's not a special story. It's not special.
I mean, you guys all look.
I was gonna say,
great.
I tell you, look at 3 handsome gentlemen right here.
Seriously.
They're aging well.
Yeah, no, I mean,
This is the best one to leave with.
We didn't know if you guys were bringing the ring light or not, so the makeup girl put like extra tape now.
We were just jamming out to the new was it EP, I guess, with the 3 new songs, the 3 new singles.
No, it's
the way
it's
they're
full
releasing
record.
it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but so you probably heard like San Quentin.
San Quentin, those days, and High
Listen
Tide.
to those
Dude,
days.
Those days
fucking
goes,
for like,
dude. Those days
Thank you.
fucking goes.
Thank you.
I actually started to, when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this is right up like my generation's alley. But it's also kind of like any generation, you know what I mean? Like
That was the idea,
it's those
right?
days. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is '90s kids like life or whatever." I was like, "No, it's not. It's fucking every life."
Well, yeah, but it was supposed to be like we were shooting 80s at
There's
first,
some
but then
crossover.
he's like, let's not go so specific that it has to be 80s. Let's leave the chorus a little open to it. But I'm talking, like as soon as I said, remember when Elm Street came on, couldn't watch it.
Yeah, I
Like
guess
all
so.
that
That's a
stuff.
little specific. But
Remember, like when they played Purple Rain, to our
Yep.
first slow dance,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Remember when Guns N' Roses came out and we were standing in line trying to hit all those things,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all those, like 'cause that's
Right.
got to be like that's probably 89.
It's 80, late
Right in
80s, early
there.
90s.
But
But then
like,
there's also
but
holding hands.
The one that jumped out to me was when first base was holding hands.
Right.
Because what are your bases now?
What does your field look like?
Yeah.
I got a few more bases. Yeah.
There does seem to be needs to be like a fifth base.
My,
to be honest.
my girlfriend's awesome. Let's just say that. I'm like, she's scouting other players.
Oh, Jesus.
I love this girl desperately.
Take long.
She's Ohtani. She plays offense and defense. She can pitch and hit. Because it used to be like I always grew up with first was making out, second was kind of handsy stuff.
Handsy stuff.
Third
But then
was mouth
third
stuff.
was also but then you lose like.
Where's
hand
the
jobs
dry
and
hump? Is
finger.
that 2 or 3?
Yeah, yeah.
dry hump's on your way to first.
And then, and then we heard. Then there was sloppy second.
it's a slow
sloppy
bunt.
Third. It's like I think we just need a whole new sport.
Just the tip. Which one's that?
What you really need is a football.
You're on your
field.
way to home. You're getting the fucking. You're getting the wave around.
Send him.
You're like, go.
Guy at home. Slide. Yeah, that was. I remember one of the worst experiences of my life that stuck with me when I was like 7th grade.
Do you sure you want to start it with "Stuck with Me"?
We were on.
Wait, you were pegging in the 3rd grade? Damn, dude.
My boy's advanced, dog.
Advanced.
I was. It was at the period of time where you would call a house phone. So it was like my buddy called, his girlfriend at the time, and we were all listening on other phones, chiming in, and everybody was saying what base they had been to, and I had zero experience, and I was trying to fake it, saying all these details, and this girl on the other
You're
line
like,
said,
yeah, I know. I stuck my finger in her urethra.
right, it was
And
like
it was like, dude, shh.
It was,
That's the P.
it was 40-year-old virgin type
Wait a
shit.
minute.
And she goes to me, "You're not even out of the dugout." And everybody laughed, and I was like, I'm not. But hey, songs like that.
Like, I'm
take
on
me right back
deck.
to it.
I'm on deck. I'm ready.
I'm a prospect. I'm coming up. Anyway, enough about that. I mean, you guys are, I think, one of the most unique bands of all time from a point of view of like the.
That's when you stop fucking filming. He
got
says
me
that.
talking
You walk
about-
out. He's like, I'm not buying any of this. Shit. Not buying it.
He's like, we got all the sex talk. We're good here.
I think you're just very interesting in the some bands are, I guess it's whether for better or worse, you come up in like the internet era,
Right.
And well, that's I guess my question is like, you can, I guess in some ways there's streaming, but that's worse than selling records. But then there's so much going viral and all that. I mean, and then Nickelback has always become this internet, this so unique
Right.
to the internet type of thing.
That's a very kind way of saying the most memeable band ever.
I was dancing around. I'm like,
is he gonna ask a question? I'm like, let the clutch out, dude. Like, come on.
but you embraced it, right? I mean, at some point, it's like, fuck it, right?
It was, dude. I did a little Google, a Twitter search of my own tweets, and I was like, what have I ever said about like Nickelback in the past? Always Team Nickelback for the record. And I had one.
I love how you had to go back and check that.
Well, I knew you guys always fucking ripped.
I was,
bro.
right? I was on the team, wasn't I?
No, I knew for a fact I always was, but I just wanted to make sure. And I had one tweet where I was like, dude, this is like Taylor Swift and Entourage. People just hate on it because it's so popular. And I was like, now looking back, I'm like, pretty good group to be in.
Pretty good company right there.
Can't complain, man. It's one of those things that takes a life of its own, but it's been a wild ride. I'm fine with it. I'm fine landing exactly where we're at right now.
Well, it also, I think, kind of comes around. Like, at some point, people go like, wait, what are you guys fucking talking about? Nickelback is.
Yeah,
Nickelback slaps.
Yeah, I think the great reset has happened.
Yeah,
definitely.
It does feel that way. We call it the softening on the band, like the teeth. The people are putting the teeth away. Like we're watching these. Somebody brought some metal guy. And the metal guys are so protective of their genre that anytime we dip our toe in there, because we've got lots of tunes that are metal, they're just like, stay in your lane, asshole. It's just like, stay over there.
Yeah.
This guy comes on, he's like, all right, I'll be the first to say it. We might have been a little hard on Nickelback for a while. Come on, those guys honestly did not deserve
Doesn't
this.
it show like how what sheep everyone is? Where it's like one person decides this, and it's like the whole is like, all right, let's do that. It's like, what are you fucking? You can't think for yourself. You can't hear animals for yourself and be like, this fucking rocks.
Group think.
It was even within the industry too, though. Like, it wasn't just fans.
There was a couple, there was key points, like things that happened. There were like these milestones that started this snowball rolling. And this guy, some comedian, I'm gonna have to find the guy's name so I can go bomb his house. This guy makes this shitty crack about us, and he's on Comedy Central, and
MTV, I think.
it was I think
Either Comedy Central or MTV.
it was on Comedy Central.
It's a Colin Quinn show. We've been told that was
Okay.
And
the trailer just
and this guy, so they took that, they put it in a commercial for this one show, and that played on Comedy Central for 6 months straight. This Nickelback joke, right? So that starts this whole thing
That's
going.
the theory
That's
anyways.
that's where it really
when it-
started at this one moment, and then all of a sudden it was just like, and then it started making its way into movies, and then like we get all this stuff all the time, and then it's just like
It was like an
it starts piling
expectation.
on us,
Like Charlie Benente, the drummer for Anthrax, came to our show like 5-6 years ago. And I talked to him after, and he's like, I thought I was supposed to hate Nickelback. Like, he didn't even think about it. It was just pre-programmed.
100%.
And he's like,
Yeah.
I know all these songs. You guys are fucking great.
I love
And
Charlie.
Then
He's
it kind of
awesome.
shook him out of his haze of this whole, well, we just have to hate that band.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
weird.
It is. I would guess you could put a song on for anybody. Like, oh, this fucking goes.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, it's Nickelback. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But also, we don't have to tell you guys this. You're rich as fuck.
I was gonna say, there's other ways to
I
measure
want to hear
this.
about it.
And
$100
You guys are like, yeah, no, we fucking know.
and
dude.
that's the litmus test right there.
When a bunch of poor people are telling you you're not good, like, I can't hear you. I'm rich. Fuck you guys. That is crazy.
I can't hear you. I've got hundreds stuck in my brain.
But yeah, I mean that's such bullshit. That's crazy. Was there ever a moment of like did you have like a PR team or anybody kind of being like, whoa, wait a minute, like what's going on here? We got to like control this thing, or was it just like the internet does what the internet does?
I mean, this is so lighthearted, but like, when every interview be like, boy, jeez, guys, the whole world fucking hates you guys. When
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
When like for a decade it was like that, just like nonstop. So yeah, we get it. And thank God, the internet caught up with everyone else because suddenly the trenches were full. We're like, Nice to see you.
Yeah.
We were down here first. Come on in. We got
sure.
lots of room.
You were
lots
texting
of room
you were texting Kanye, egging him on. Be like, I don't know. You're making some good points, dude.
Right. No. You know it's bad when Nickelback looks at what's going on with Kanye, like, whew, dude.
Oh man, that's funny. We call that the mud here when the mud is where we
reside in the
we
mud.
live in the mud.
yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like a Batman thing.
The
Like,
mire.
We were born in it. We were molded by the mud. A couple people, you have a bad day on the internet, you get some PR hits, and you come down. You eventually go back up. We stayed out. We are mud. We got mud gills. We can breathe in the mud, man.
It just turns into the whole. We are Nickelback.
Yeah.
We started the under here. You are nothing.
Aim low, shoot low.
Exactly.
Welcome to the trenches.
The only difference is, again, you have millions and millions of dollars, and we're actually poor people in the mud. So
I have a roommate, bro.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I hope you get along.
My mom still does my laundry.
My mom still controls my money, though. That's true.
There you go.
bro, I don't have a roommate, but I could use one. So I don't know what's worse.
You know what? You guys could move in together.
Yeah. That's too much.
That
No.
would be too much.
Too
Yeah.
much.
You
You
guys
should try
all-
playing in a band with somebody for 25
I was
years.
gonna say, you guys all get along. Yeah.
We're still here.
Yes.
What's
My lawyer
answer here?
said I have to say yes.
It's a long time. I mean, and to be on the road and all that. I mean, it's not an easy life. We went on the road for like 4 days. We did 3 different live podcasts.
Where'd you guys go?
Denver, Phoenix, LA.
Gotcha.
And that was the first time we ever kind of went west. But it was like 3 shows of a podcast for an hour. We lost our voices. We were getting sick. We were tired. And I mean,
Dude,
we are pussies.
I want to go back to New York.
Yeah, for real.
It was after our first show. I'm friends with Mark Roberge, who's the lead singer of OAR, and I called him the next morning. I was like, dude, how do you keep your voice like performing every night? And he's like, well, here's what you gotta do. You gotta stop drinking. You gotta stop smoking. You gotta lay in bed and you gotta
No
rest
sugar.
your voice and don't talk to anyone. No sugar.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not what I was
No
calling about."
spicy
Like,
food the night
I was like-
before,
I was like,
no
dude, I was calling
carbonated
for the
drinks,
miracle
like,
cure.
The miracle guy. One pill you take. One pill you take.
Yeah.
So on by the time you guys made it to Phoenix, you guys have been partying, and that's why it was like, because you're not gonna go to Denver, you're not gonna go to LA, you're not going to Phoenix and not party.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you guys are partying,
Having our fun.
and you're
It
like,
was-
we might have gotten a little hard last night. 'cause I
Yeah,
barely
yeah.
talked."
It was. Yeah, you could hear it. I would call my mom every morning because I'm a mama's boy, and every morning she'd be like, "You sound way worse. What'd you do last night?"
Mom, can you send me some more of my money?
Spent it at the bar last night in the dispensary.
Is that your roommate? Is that your mom?
Turns
No,
out
but she's coming down this weekend. We're going to play together. Gonna be very fun.
that's great, dude. That's great.
You guys have like this longevity that very few people I feel like can continue at this level for that long. Yeah.
Don't jinx us, dude. They went
No,
to
you know what, I
They went to
feel like-
Barstool, and the next day, fucking plummet.
I feel like if you guys can last this long through everything, you can last
Yeah,
100 more years.
we could
you know?
weather the storm.
Yeah.
I actually got a question. We were doing a little research as we do because we're professional interviewers.
She says fucking
Yes.
fantastic.
What was the Juvies thing all
Wikipedia.
about?
Bad boy.
Let's move on. And also, you have criminal records as I broke in twice. Must have done it half a dozen times.
Yeah, it
Is
was-
that what the juvie was?
It was 11.
It was 11.
Didn't sing well. Must have done it 11 times. I was just like, that doesn't fucking
Took a
work.
little creative liberty. That's fine.
I'm like, must have done it half a dozen. I was like, that's better. So yeah, like for as bad as we all wanted to get out of school, I have no idea why I kept breaking into mine.
You kept breaking into school.
Oh yeah.
Into school?
Yeah, we'd bust into school, and then we'd like ride our skateboards up and down the hallways and stuff.
that's
That's
kinda
fine.
nice.
What age is this?
This would be 88. I was in the 8th grade.
88 years old. Holy shit.
No.
Yeah.
1988. So 8th grade. Yeah,
14?
however old you are. Yeah, 13, 14, somewhere in there. And,
Still writing songs about going to jail.
but like, I got,
Ride the wave.
I
man.
hadn't been sentenced, and I knew that they were going to sentence me, and I knew that so I was going to fail I was in the 9th grade. I knew I was going to fail the 9th grade because I knew I was going to have to go to juvie, and so I was just on it. I'm like, It's one of those things like I'm already in deep shit. I'm just like
Sand to the beach,
I'm not
bro.
gonna put the shovel down. I'm gonna just keep on digging.
Yeah, right.
So my mom goes to take myself and Mike to a Metallica show in Calgary, and we go to the mall, and that's where that line. Every T-shirt we stole from the local mall.
Yeah.
So I got caught stealing a fucking Motorhead shirt. And she had to come and pick me up from the police station. And she's like, "What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Like, and now I got to pick you up. I get you released into my custody, and I'm going to take you to a Metallica concert. So you're going to get rewarded for this kind of behavior." I'm like, I don't know.
I'll pay you back, Mom. I'll pay you back one day. Don't worry.
We get to the concert. We sit down, and it's Mike and I, my brother and I. And Mike's the bass player. He's not feeling well today. So, and I'm, we're kind of sitting there and watching the show. This guy next to me lights up a doob, passes it over to me. I'm 13. I'm like, yeah, I'll try that. First time ever. Just like, Mike's looking at me and he's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm just like, I just looked at him like, I don't know.
That's what you do, right?
I handed it back. So they kick, like the middle part of one kicks it. It's like, everyone else is standing up, devil horns in the air, and I'm freaking out. I'm just sitting there just like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is this what being stoned is? What's going on? Mike's just looking at me. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, just nonstop, right? So sentencing rolls around, and they gave me a few months in juvie, and I did not enjoy that. That was not fun. I was like,
for the record, juvie, not cool.
If this is like minor league jail, I'm out. I don't want to. I'm done. I don't want to.
I always thought I'd thrive in prison. I think I do. First of all, I need structure. I can really use structure.
You would be somebody's bitch so
Dude,
fast,
I don't think so, man.
Yeah.
I think they'd be like, that dude's for the boys. Like,
You can't say you're a mama's boy and then you want to go to
I
jail.
wouldn't tell them,
my mommy
dude.
every
I
day.
told you guys I had confidence.
You would be dropping. You'd be dropping what you do for a living so fast in there, dude. I'm a Barstool. Come on. Like, I'm cool. Please,
I'd host a prison.
Please don't beat
podcast,
my
bro.
ass.
You do the Rorschach thing. You're not stuck. I'm not stuck in here. You're stuck in here with me.
I would find the two biggest, meanest fucking dudes in there.
Just
I'd
kiss him right on the mouth.
I'd be like,
Warm up right away.
your mom's getting a new fucking Cadillac. And your mom's getting a new Cadillac. It's going to be there tomorrow, and nothing's going to happen to me while I'm in here, right? Right? They'd be like, no problem.
Very smart, man. Nickelback Goes to Prison. Sounds like a great show. Good reality TV.
It's funny, we
watch you
did
guys
that.
survive.
We
did that, huh?
We did that. Jim Gaffigan had us on his show, like when he was doing the TV show. I'm not sure if he's still doing it, or I'm a little out of touch with that. But anyway, so and there's this scene where everybody gets put in jail. It's like a dream sequence or something like that. And everybody gets put in jail by popular demand that have really done nothing wrong.
They lose in the court of public opinion.
That's what they were doing.
Right.
And
So you get judged.
Gilbert Gottfried's in there.
Or
Like,
the Affleck stuff.
that Affleck joke.
Carrot
and
Top.
Carrot Top was in there. And so, like, everyone who's just been put into that prison,
Yeah.
like, for not really doing anything.
Nothing, yeah.
Yeah, so, and we were in there, too. We wanted to play. He's like, you guys, please come, like, play along. So we fly to New York. We went to, what jail? It's right in the middle of the city. There's a jail. It wasn't Rikers, no.
The Tombs?
I can't remember
I
what it
almost
was.
went to the
No, but
Tombs.
it's legit. Like,
Yeah.
there's the courthouse is across the street. And you get sentenced, and they take you right across. So, and they put us in the jumpsuits. So we're in the jumpsuits, and we're in there, and I'm just like, I don't want to go down. I just don't want to take a wrong left and be like, I don't want to accidentally get stuck in population.
Yeah,
It's like, no. Like, and we're in there.
I'm with the band.
Yeah.
We didn't take the suits off. We didn't take the suits off, and there's a bunch of sheriffs and deputies, and they're like escorting 6 prisoners out of the courthouse across the street. We come out of the thing, and we can see cars coming, and I run across the street. I'm in the jumpsuit, and they think they got a runner.
No way.
And all I had to do was get to the RV, which was our dressing room outside. So I'm running across the street, and 2 of them go, whoa, like this. And I'm like, no, this thing came off.
Superman shit.
Look, I got my civvies on. And they're just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Sniper!
Like, I'm like, no.
That could
Imagine
go
headline.
wrong
Yeah.
real fast.
Dude gets lit up because he fucking was chewing. It's also like the most New York / LA thing ever, where like the prison has the filming wing, whereas like,
exactly.
we got a couple empty cells because we have to shoot here.
sure they love that.
You can just like I can just see that this is a movie right here. I can see Kevin Hart in the jumpsuit, and he goes into film a little bit in the prison, but then they accidentally
get stuck in there.
And then like they keep trying to tell everybody he's Kevin Hart, but nobody in there recognizes. Like they're like, yeah, sure you are.
Kevin Hart's taller. Dude, they had the like all the bookings are full. Like the judge can't hear you for 6 months. And you're like, all right, I guess I'm just locked in for 6 months. Kevin Hart basically did that with Get Hard.
That was
there you go.
I knew he was in something like that.
You guys all family men, married, and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm married, got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Same here.
All the boys,
And then the best girlfriend of all time.
best girlfriend of all time,
Yeah.
dude. I've been with her for 6.5 years. That girl's putting up with my shit for way too long. Like she deserves so many awards, all of the awards, all the medals. She gets all the trophies.
She's like, I only want one, man. There's only one piece of.
I don't know how I lucked into this one, and everybody's just like, dude, does she have a sister? Your chick is awesome. But yeah,
You get runner-up for time spent? Or what?
yeah, time served. Yeah, no, she's getting time served for sure. No, but like each one of the boys is these guys are great husbands and great. These guys could write books on how to rear children. But like each one of them has one boy, one girl.
Millionaire families.
Each one of them.
Yeah, same as Mike too.
All they got to handpick our semen when we were actually.
It's not a sentence I want you to say while you're right next to me. I don't want to hear handpick my semen. I'm like, whoa.
Sometimes twice if I'm bored.
Sometimes if I can't sleep, I'll handpick it.
And twice on Sunday afternoon. Video games, fucking cheesies, and my orange dick.
I thought they wanted to know how the sausage was made. I don't know.
Again. Come on, man.
Is that a big switch in rock star life when you go from young, single, partying to like you're doing still touring, still playing, but you got a family back at home now?
Easy for me.
Yeah.
It really was. I've been with my wife for quite a while. We went to high school together.
Oh wow.
And it was great because when we went on the road initially, when I had my son in 2003, so kind of right when How You Remind Me was really flying at that point, and just getting in the studio for the second album, and then I had my son a couple of years later. So they just grew up on the road. We would take him on the road with us everywhere.
Oh wow,
that's pretty sick.
In the bus, and then there's it's probably more weird for these guys because literally have bouncy castles back on stage and a little pool for water, for swimming the pool. And he's ripping it up in one of the rooms down the way.
I gotta tell the story. So I decide I'm just gonna play like just a little bit of not even so much a prank, but just like a little bit of a joke on Ryan. And I go to his bus, and like all our buses were just parked in a row, and we just finished the show, and I'm partying on my bus. So I leave my bus, and I think this is gonna be hilarious. And I go into his bus, and I knock on the door, and he's like, yeah, come on in. I go in, there's the wife, and it's just like there's just diapers and Lego and just crap like everywhere. I'm just like it looked like a kindergarten. I don't know what it was, but it was just like it was so domestic.
Kindergarten.
It made me feel weird. I got in there, I was just
Yeah, right.
It's like this is
Kitchen, gross.
yucky. I'm just like domestication. So I go. I put on the serious face because the show just ended, right? I go, buddy, hey, we got to talk. You're gonna have to come out like. We're going to have a little meeting here. And he's like, oh, this seems sort of serious. He's like, hey, Trina, I'll be right back. Just give me a second. He comes off. I'm like, come here. He goes, what? I go, just come here. He goes, no, I'm not coming on your bus. I said, you don't have to go on the bus. I'm going to open the door. All I want you to do is poke your head in and look in.
He pulled me up.
I was having a shirts off party. He pokes his head in the bus, and there's 10 women in there that just have beautiful, beautiful breasts, and it's just
bouncy.
Yeah. He sticks his head in, and he's just like, oh, dude. He's like, again, he looks at me. He goes, "What's wrong with you?"
That seems to be a theme throughout your life.
Right? I go, a little different from my bus.
I enjoy saying married. I did not go on Chad's bus.
You son of a bitch, man.
I like all my money.
Oh my God! I was in Vegas with, and I can't even say his name, with a Hall of Famer hockey player, and we are partying, and he's getting into it, and like he's just kind of having fun. He's not really doing anything wrong. He's like, but there's a lot of women around, and he's like being a little loosey goosey, and nobody is gonna know who this is.
We'll send it to Wayne.
Nobody will know. Yeah, exactly. No one will know. How will they know? They're gonna know. No one will know. It's one of those, and I look at him. I go, aren't you worried that your wife's gonna kind of find out like we're kind of having a bit of a party here and you're around all these women? He goes, like, dude, she could take half. He goes, I only need half. I was like,
enough.
wow. I only need half.
That's such a great line. I only need half.
Half is still a fuck ton, buddy. That's great. No, but I mean, the new stuff is awesome. And I mean, that sound is, it's so uniquely Nickelback. And somehow some people, that became a negative, but I think you have such a distinct sound that people will like always know.
I think
and
it's
remember.
I think it's mostly my voice though. Like as soon as
it's
like,
funny.
it's my as soon as like we can have something, and we did it on this record. Like we'll have this bit going on, and it's like and Brian will come in. He's like, this is cool. It sounds so indie. And I'm like, yeah, it does sound indie. Just wait till I fuck it up by singing on it. But as soon as I do like the whole like I'm through with standing in line, it's just like that's Nickelback. There it is.
Brother, it's like that's your voice. That's no shit. I sound like me. Someone like listen to this podcast like it sounds like Feidelberg. Yeah, it's Feidelberg talking. What the fuck do you think?
I was doing some sort of search, just picking up some tidbits, doing research, and one of the like frequently ask, one of them was, why does Chad Kroeger sound like that?
Is that an effect pedal?
I don't know. I
Again,
don't know.
so uniquely you.
But if I was ever having a hard time getting into a club or something like that, and I did a never made it as a wise man, they're like, dude,
Right this way.
come on in.
That is so fucking cool hearing you
the
say,
fact that
dude.
you can just like
That is so fucking
pull the
cool.
lever and that comes out.
That's it.
That's absolutely incredible. Man.
By the way, are you guys Swifties?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter is, so I have to be.
Dude, I don't have a daughter, and I
She's
am.
great.
So
No, she's great.
dude, do you see she broke Ticketmaster today?
I
they
heard
they
about it.
canceled
Broke
her.
it.
They canceled her sale tomorrow. They're like, we don't even have tomorrow. It's supposed to go on. She's supposed to do like a new batch on sale, and like we can't do
We
it.
can't do it.
That's
When
fucking
She broke
nuts.
it. I kind of like that she broke that.
Yeah, that's what I
Right,
hear.
right, you guys
As a
have some-
consumer,
some
and I imagine
opinions.
as
really break.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, the Swifties are gonna take it down.
If anybody, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That is a devout group that
Yeah.
she has. Like it's wild.
It's
like-
crazy.
Is there a Nickelback?
I don't know. We don't have a name. I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
you need
No.
you need something.
No.
Nickelbackers?
Nickelbackers.
They're all in the witness
that would make
relocation
sense,
program.
Nickelbackers.
Like they're all hiding anyway. like it's one of those things you just sort of whisper to your buddy. You going to the show?
Yeah.
It's like when you pull up to a light and you've got Nickelback on, and like your windows are down. You just like turn it down a little bit, and then you drive away. You turn it back
man.
up.
Could we find the video of rocking out before Sirius to Animals? It is fucking the exact opposite happens where we fucking turn it up.
Yeah, man. I
great.
think it's come all full circle. I really do. I think that the internet has. I think that people, music fans, everybody's like
The next generation,
We don't
too.
even
The
know where
20-year-olds
this
now, yeah, they're
came from and why it was like this in the first place. Fuck you.
I have a theory that because like we've talked about this, the teeth have kind of gone away lately, and I think and I'm just completely making up bullshit here, but
That's what we do on this podcast.
perfect.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm in the right spot.
Fits right in.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah.
2 moons yesterday.
But we were talking about like at the beginning of the pandemic.
Tatooine?
Yeah, exactly.
basically.
Beginning of the pandemic, when it started and everybody kind of had to lock down, and we've seen the data back then where it's like, I think at Spotify there was like over like almost 75% of the music played was like catalog music, they call it. Like you're going back to listen to stuff that you
Comfort
used to listen
music.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and 25% was new stuff, so it was mostly catalog stuff. So people were trying to find comfort in old music. So not just that, but I think the younger generation was discovering it, and they never lived through the shit.
Yeah.
What it was out there. So they're just like, they're kind of like, I would like liken it to us where, I'm growing up and you listen to Led Zeppelin and you're like, this is great. And you listen to like, older songs like ABBA. Oh, this is great. Oh, did you hear what happened to ABBA back then?
Yeah,
Stuff like
no.
that. You're like, oh, I didn't know about that. I just
like the music.
like it.
I just like Mamma Mia.
I think that had something to do. There's a bit of a conflating both. I think was just
I
was a
would
time
also
where it
say
really made sense.
That makes a lot of
From
sense.
from my point of view as a fan, I think it's two things of one, you leaned into it in a funny
Yes.
way, the commercials and just kind of being like, I don't give a fuck. And two, like the longevity of just continuing to put out like music and hits, like you don't run away.
Yeah.
Because there's something about but I do think there's something about, I mean, I've been clowned on the internet before and everybody's taking their turn. And when you just like keep doing it and don't let like the trolls win, eventually it's like Rocky. It's like you take a bunch of punches and you're still standing, and then it's like, oh, and by the way, we can't won the belt. We're fucking insanely rich. And I think eventually people go, wow, like these guys are actually fucking metal. Like they deserve it.
You can't just like pick away at one or two or three people kind of going at you. It's like having trying to back and forth with someone on the internet. It's like having a war on jealousy.
I find
it'll never work.
I did it for like 8 years. I finally was like, I'm just done. I'm not. I'll just
fight
fucking,
the times, brother.
Just fucking
Don't engage.
Yeah.
Put the keyboard down.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just easier. I don't know.
I thought this story was great. You told this story a little while ago, and I just thought it was hilarious. So his oldest son, who's now out of high school, they went at him a little bit. It's like, yeah, your dad's a guitar player for Nickelback.
Dude, that's crazy.
But
people try to use that as a pejorative.
But like,
crazy.
but kids will pick on kids for anything.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It's like,
I luckily had my big nose.
So he got a little bit. So the son gets a little bit of that. The daughter, 2 years later, she's going to all these high school parties, and he's like, how was the party last night? And she's like, it was good, except they wouldn't stop playing Nickelback, like nonstop. So that's how he knew. He's like, okay, all right, this is my time.
You get it, boys.
I'm getting another house. Dude, fuck
Again, insanely rich. Insanely fucking rich. We love it, boys. Thank you so much.
Thank you
So
so much, guys.
This has been a ton of fun.
Quick 5 minutes if we could just shoot a video with you next door.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Let's do it.
High time,
everybody-
out now. High time. Those days, San Quentin, all fucking go, dude.
And don't lie,
man.
you know you like it.
Thanks, man.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be fast, so that's it.